So the number one question that I get from English learners is, how do I find someone that I can speak English with? How do I find someone in my local town or my local city who would be willing to help me learn English by having speaking practice sessions or lessons regularly? So in this video, I'm going to show you 6 ways that you can find someone that you can speak English with so that you get that speaking practice in. So you've probably already spent time reading in English, writing in English, listening to English, and learning lots of vocabulary. But speaking with a native English speaker is one of the most challenging things to do as you continue to learn English. So in this video, I'm going to show you 6 things that you can do to find native English speakers that you can talk to. I should say though, one of the examples doesn't involve a native speaker, but you'll see when we get there. Let's get started. So one of the first things you can do is you can try to find a language club in your city. Most large cities have language clubs where people go to learn English as well as other languages. So a great place to start with this is a website called meetup.com. And we'll have a look at meetup.com, and we'll use this website to say that we live in Paris and that we are looking for an English conversation club. When you do this, it should give you some things that you can click on. So here we see Cafe Conversation, English Language Conversation Group. So Meetup is a great place. You can specify the city that you are from. So let's say you are in Toronto, maybe you're already in Canada, and you could say that you want an English conversation club, and you can see here again all different options for you to be able to go to a club and practice your English with other people. A second way to find someone to practice English with is to find someone to be your pen pal. This is an older English word that means someone who you can write letters to. But you can also find a pen pal who is willing to have conversations with you via Skype or FaceTime. We are going to use a web page called mylanguageexchange.com. So I'm just going to go over to the computer here and I'm going to search up My Language Exchange on Google. And when we get to My Language Exchange, we're going to go down to where it says your language exchange partner. So you're describing the person you want to meet. I would say their native language is English. And let's pretend I'm a French speaker learning English. I would say that their practicing language is French. Then I would click search. And you'll see that a number of people come up who say, hello, I'm interested in exchanging with people on a regular basis on regular topics. So this is someone whose native language is English, but who is practicing French. So another way to find an English speaking partner is to use a website called Preply.com. So we're going to have a look at Preply.com. I used Preply when I was learning French or improving my French. But Preply.com is a website where you will have to spend some money, but you can go and find people who are willing to teach you English via Skype or via FaceTime. So if I went to the website, I could say, I want to learn the English language. I want to learn English to talk about hobbies, and I want to learn it for myself. And then I'm going to say that I speak French. I'm just going to pretend that I speak French. So here, this will give us an option of how much we're willing to pay per hour. And we'll just say show search results. We're not going to specify what days of the week. But you'll see here that we right away have English tutors available who are charging as little as $4 an hour. So this is another way that you can meet via Skype or FaceTime. You can pay someone on Preply.com to meet with you. And another website that you can use is a website called italki.com. So italki is a very similar website. It allows you to go and look for an online English tutor an online English partner, speaking partner. And I'll show you in a moment just a quick thing. If we say we want to learn English on the italki.com website, it will find, hopefully for us, someone who teaches English. So you'll see here that we have people popping up. We have Sarah, who charges as little as $4. So Preply.com and italki.com are both excellent websites where you can find someone that you can pay to teach you English via Skype or FaceTime. A fourth way that you can practice your English that sometimes English learners do not want to do is to practice with someone else who is learning English. Sometimes you might think that this will be bad for you, that you might learn each other's mistakes, but if you can find another person who's also learning English that you can meet in person or on FaceTime or Skype, it will help you. Whenever you know that you will need to speak English, you will practice your English more beforehand, before the lesson. And even if you're speaking English with someone who's learning at the same time as you, it is still excellent practice. You can correct each other's mistakes. You can ask each other questions. You can read pre-written dialogues that you find on the internet or parts from a play, and you can just use each other to practice your English. So that's the fourth way. Find someone who's also learning English and practice with them. So a fifth way to practice your English with another person, and this one's kind of hard. If you live near a tourist area of a large city, you will most likely have English tourists there during the nicer months of the year. English tourists are usually kind and they're usually willing to talk to people who are learning English. So if you can find a way to volunteer as a tour guide or volunteer in the tourist area of the closest city to you or in your city, you will have more opportunities to talk to other English speakers. Try it, you won't regret it. And finally, a sixth way to practice your English with someone who speaks English is video games. My son has a friend who's from China, and he is learning a lot of English because he plays video games with English speakers. So he wears his headphones and he has his microphone in front of his mouth, and while they're playing the game, they talk to each other in English. So joining any kind of video game where there is live chat as part of the game is an excellent way to talk with other native English speakers. You can do this with your Xbox, you can do this with your computer. You certainly need at least a headset with a microphone, but it is a great way to practice your English with native English speakers. Well, hey, that was 6 ways to find a native English speaker that you can practice your English with. Bob the Canadian here. I hope this English lesson was valuable for you. If it was, please hit the subscribe button below and give me a thumbs up. I really hope you enjoy this video. And if you have some time, there's a few videos that you can watch next after this one. If you haven't seen them, please do. Have a great week.